Yeah. Welcome to the space where the real gets heard, where culture lives, and we just shoot the breeze.
Welcome to Shootin the Breeze, where the conversations are real, the laughs are loud, and nothing is off limits. I'm your host, Queen Mouse. I'm here with my illustrious guests. We have Big Pick, Baby Girl AD, It's Jesus G, and Smart Kid Mario. And today we're getting into some things. So sit back, relax, and let's shoot the breeze. Moving on from there, but kind of staying in the same realm, I want to talk about church culture versus secular culture. Because being Black American, the church is a major aspect of your whole life, kind of from growing up to your adulthood. It like puts a imprint on you in everything that you do because from
Ooh,
stemming from slavery
ooh.
on down, just your beliefs and your faith kind of was the backbone or the foundation of your whole life being Black American. So what are y'all thoughts on that? Going ahead.
Um, I can definitely speak to that quite a bit. 'Cause, growing up, like, so in my household, we had my grandmother, we had my mom, me, my sister, my brother, and then most summers, my younger cousin. Um, and one thing my grandma definitely made sure that we did every Sunday
Mhm.
we was going to that church. Every Christmas before we could even look at the Christmas tree or look at presents, we had to say a prayer, we had to say a Bible verse, and then of course the typical thankful things before we could even look at the living room. Like I was in the choir, I did liturgical dancing, usher. I don't know why they had me leading songs in the choir because I couldn't sing. Um, um, like, and boy, I'm not gonna lie, I did hate going to my mom church because that, if you know, and you from, it might be like that up north, but I know from the south, you go to them
Mhm.
churches that you in church from Sunday school, like 8:30, and you're not leaving
Mhm.
till about 10, 11 o'clock at night. Talking about survival of the fittest, you were sitting there hungry the whole day.
Yeah.
Uh, you better not go to sleep. You better be sitting up. Um,
Sure would.
that hand to
The little
pop you real
church
quick if you
fame and
start
stuff.
dozing
Yeah, we
off.
know about Southern churches too, because that's where our people's is from.
Uh,
Crazy.
but then as I got older, I started like, and that's where because
Mhm.
I'm still a Christian to this day. I still wholeheartedly believe all that stuff. Um, and participate in it. Not as much as when I was younger,
Mhm.
but now I feel like I have more freedom to explore. And that's a huge thing. Like when you get that first bit of freedom, which is why you have a lot of people in the South, especially in Black culture, that's been raised in the church culture.
Yeah.
As soon as they get out their house, they go wild. Uh, Granted, I didn't go out. I had a little bit of sense, um, but fun was had. But you start exploring more after you get out of that. Don't want to call it. I say system. You get out of that system of having to have your whole life revolve around that because you want to explore what the world offers you. And then you have some that come back. Um, and I say for the culture, like sometimes it's a double-edged sword as far as because you're taught growing up, you're supposed to go out and spread the light in the world. But if you've been
Mhm.
drowned in that light, which is usually what happens in Southern church culture, like you just drowned in it, you know nothing but that, and you better believe
Mhm.
that, or that shit is BTA. Um, so as you get older, you experience that secular culture quite a bit more. Um, and that's where the double edge comes in because it's only two paths that usually happens. They either go full lean into the Bible, lean into church, or they go the other way. And then you have that rare middle section where people actually, they explore, but then they realize it's not for them, and they kind of stay straight line.
Okay. I don't know. With us, we started out like as Baptists and stuff like that. I remember going to church when we would go down south
Mm.
with my grandparents and doing the Sunday school and stuff like that. Church has always just been a integral part of our lives. I don't know necessarily if it's because being black per se, but it just always has been, just around. You say grace before you eat, you say your prayers at night. When you're younger, you have a different prayer from when you're older. And when
Mm.
you're older, you're doing the Our Fathers and stuff. But when you're younger, you're like, God is good, God is great, things like that. It's just always been a part of your life. Like you're going to take a test and, let me pray before I take my test, before I go out on the highways and byways. You're praying for traveling mercies and things like that. It's just always been an integral part of just
Yeah.
living. So it's like not even something you think about, like on Sunday morning, you know where you're going. You're going to church. Yeah, pretty much. That's how I think about it.
Mm.
That's true.
It's like breathing.
Mhm. Yeah, but that is culture. Like
Yeah.
are saying it, we're taking it for granted. But think about it. There's a lot of people that is very foreign to them. For us, that's nature. But for a lot of people, they would hear that and be like, "What? Why would you be doing something like that? Who taught you that? Like, where is that coming from?" To us, like, we would never even think like, "Why are you praying over your food?" Like people would hear that and be like, "What?" So like it is part of our black experience. I feel like again, that's our superpower. Like these are the things that like our ancestors and stuff just passed down generationally. And I feel like um it's a responsibility on us
Mhm.
to maintain, those practices and pass that along, to other people because that's the gift that they gave to us. So, we have to continue to keep that legacy going. I don't know if when it happened to us if we noticed that that's what that was because it just felt like this was just a life thing. But I feel like now the onus is really on us to keep the tradition up. I don't know if we felt like, oh, this is specifically a black thing or specifically a Christian thing, but I feel like they're kind of one and the same because they should kind of be, they are in essence. But I feel like we should definitely take note of that and see the overlap and make sure to continue the traditions because that's what they were. They
Okay.
came from our grandparents. We saw that and it's on us to keep that legacy alive, especially from, an homage to our grandparents because this is stuff that they instilled in us.
I will
Mm.
say one thing I've seen that in our generation that I'm proud of as far as progression when it comes to the church is more so integration of demographics.
Mhm.
Because like old school back in the day, church was definitely separated by demographic. Um, and I feel like it's become more open, um, more inclusive.
Mhm.
Mm.
Um, and to me, that's a beautiful thing because no matter what you subscribe to
Right.
in life, what way of life you live, I honestly believe like everybody should be welcomed with open arms by the flock. Like nobody should be pushed away. Uh
Got
huh.
that Hulu Plus.
Okay.
And so that's one thing why I'm happy. Like our generation, that part, like we've gotten that correct for the most part. Um. So yeah.
I'll say this. The city where I was from, not everyone, but maybe 80% of the city
Mm.
was Catholic. So I was raised, yeah, I was raised Catholic, and I mean, as a kid, you
I was getting ready to
if you
say
don't
that.
catch
Yeah.
on to the spirit and become spiritual, um, if if you don't catch on to it early like that, you just going to church basically because your grandma or your parents will ever making you go. And as you get a little older and you start to realize God and Jesus and what it is,
Mm-hmm.
you start to realize like where you should be or what you should be believing or what direction you want to go in. So I knew once I became conscious of that, I knew that I didn't want to be Catholic. I knew that I didn't like just the church and our church was pretty generic. It was just reading from the Bible, it was singing a few songs. It it wasn't really nothing that I could resonate with. So I remember when I moved with my dad, my stepmother used to take me to a church, and there was a lot of preaching. The pastor and stuff. It was different. It was a different vibe, a different set, and I kind of latched on to that. I'm still Christian to this day. I do believe, and as far as church in the culture,
Mm-hmm.
it's changing, and it's a little bit more hip now. It's a little bit more upbeat now. It's a little bit more. You got younger and younger pastors now. You know, we don't have the TD Jakes is
Mm-hmm.
TD Jakes, but we getting away from that. It's more church is trying to reach the youth now, and uh that's it's helping the culture, but you still have that aspect
Yeah.
of um church to money ratio. That's one of the biggest things that keep people out of
No.
church is the money. Like we all know salvation shouldn't cost a dime.
Mm.
But how, no matter what church you are a part of,
Mm-hmm.
member or not, how long can you go in that church and sit there and get the
Mm.
word without something in the basket? Sooner or later, this is just me talking. I'm gonna put the
Oh
disclaimer out
yeah.
there. This ain't got nothing to
8
do
ways
with
to
the panel,
give.
nothing.
Oh yeah, 8
Sooner
ways to
or
give.
later, they're gonna start attacking you about tithing and offering and
Mm-hmm.
paying your money. Soon, soon. I'm just saying
Mm-hmm.
it indirectly.
They got
Some
QR
pastors
codes now.
directly.
They
They'll
got them
start the
QR
sermon will be
codes.
about tithing and offering, and you
Yep.
ain't doing it. You want your prayer to work, but you ain't. And
Yeah.
then you kind of like looking around, like, but it's you, and you feel it. You feel it like, I know you're talking about me, but I think that's the biggest thing that separates black people from the culture,
Yeah.
like as far as faith and believing in church. Like you gotta know if you know God, you ain't gonna find him in no
There you
church. Like you
there
know
you
that.
go.
You don't need to be in church. Your
You gotta.
relationship with God is personal. But,
Yeah.
Mm.
right,
Right.
Mm-hmm.
absolutely. Now,
Yes,
church is
indeed.
Yep.
good. You get the word and you
You
go in there
shouldn't
and you
have to
hear
pay to
exactly what you
pray.
need to hear.
Fellowship.
Sometimes
And this
it's
this
great, and
You
it's
know.
good to be along with other believers and be in that atmosphere. I love it.
Yeah.
But it's just sometimes it just always just goes back to that money, and I'm like, man, like because if you still got
Mm-hmm.
the envelopes, it's we in the future now. You could pay your
Mm-hmm.
tithe
They
cash
show
out
they
and all that.
show do.
They put it up there on the video board like you pay. We got all form. We take all forms of payment, and like, but
Yeah.
your name is connected to it. So by the time you put your little $20, they're like, nah, I know
You
you made more
do.
than $200. You don't know what I made. You don't know what's going. You don't
Yeah.
know that's what I put. You don't know what I made, and it's like you got to put your 10%, man. It should be $100. And I know
Mm-hmm.
you're making $1,000. Like yo, I've been to church
Yeah.
like that. My current church is not like that, but I've been to churches like that. I've been to churches like that. I was in a church. The last church I went to well, not the actual last, but the last one I was like a member of in Louisiana. It
Mm-hmm.
was it ended real bad because this was a good church, a mixed church, all kind of cultures of people, and the church went left because this is when Barack Obama got elected. The pastor he is a white guy, and, him and his wife they was on Twitter just putting all kind of stuff on Twitter about the people who voted
Mm.
for him and the direction
Wow.
America was going to go in, and people are stupid, and this can't happen to our great country. I'm like, man, this is the same.
Dang.
This is the same pastor that baptized me. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I got born again, he did it, and I'm like,
Well,
Oh
once I
wow.
seen
Mm-hmm.
it, I'm like, damn it. But if you
Mm.
if you're a believer, you also know that politics and church, as that's what they used back in the day. Like, you know what I'm saying? The politicians went to the leaders of the church because the leaders of the church had the influence over the people. So it's still like that today. It's still like that today, and I really felt comfortable in that church. I felt protected in that church. I really like. I don't know if I fooled myself. I don't know, but nothing showed bad up in that church until Barack Obama got elected. I'm like, yo, like I remember my ex, her aunt had hit her up and showed her like the screenshots, all that stuff, and she was like, because she's the one got us into the church, and my ex was like, well, what we gonna do? She said, I don't know what y'all gonna do, but I'm not going back there. That was my last Sunday was my last Sunday, like. So you fast forward all the way to today. I also think while church is iffy for some, not totally. I also think that's what a lot of us are missing. I think a lot of Black culture could use that here. They could use that guidance. They could use that spirituality. I don't think people are in the spirit right now. You know what I'm saying? I don't think praying. You know what I'm saying? I don't think people. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a heavy prayer, but every day I wake up, I say, God, thank you for waking me up. Thank you for my last day not being my last day. And I must say that till the day I can't say it. It's gonna be my last day. And I think that's what we're missing a lot when you see what the media puts up about us. We're not all broken like that, but for the ones that are broken, the ones that are lost, I think that they don't have the spirit with them. They don't have the belief. I think our biggest problem right now, we got people dying so young right now. It's like these kids, they
Tomorrow's
feel
not
like I
promised.
don't want to see 30. I gotta die now. Like they doing stuff out there like that.
Yeah.
And like I say, not all, just what you see. But even the little bit that
That's
you know it
crazy.
is, it's like, man, there's so much life out here to live. There's so much things to do. Like y'all trying to pass away and you ain't even had no children yet. You ain't even traveled the world yet. You ain't even met a equal companion yet. Like, and you just want to crash out. You just want that's not what life is about. And I think people getting away from God, us in our culture, I think that's one of the biggest problems.
And I agree with a lot of things you said because I will say, like, with the pastors getting younger, I think there's a disconnect with them because they forget they're supposed to be stewards of God, and that means there's a higher standard for you. And I relate it to myself because being in the military, there's certain things I cannot say on social media. I can't say in general.
Right.
And it should be equivalent to them, because there's supposed to be a representation of him, and that does run off a lot of people. They get too personal and they forget like what they're representing, the commitment they made. Because when you lead a flock, you're supposed to lead by example. Like a shepherd is not going to lead his sheep to a wolf den. And that last time I'm referencing this man, but I it was hilarious, but it's also disappointing whenever Drewski did his church skit, right? And I was sitting there, I was like, reading the comments and just personal reflection. I was like, this is so accurate. Because like he said, church is about the money. And you sit there and wonder where the money's going, but every Sunday or anytime you see the pastor or something out, they're all dressed up, they got all this fancy stuff and whatnot, and you start wondering, like, are you getting paid with my money?
Rolls
Like,
Royce.
you just balling out, Louis Vuitton, Gucci, Coach, rolling up in yeah. I was like, yeah. But it was so true. Like, it was really true. Like, that whole skit was spot on. Because I've been to multiple churches like
exposing
that.
them.
Like,
People
I
don't.
think this is part of my journey, which I'm happy about. I've been exposed to so many different denominations, from Holy Pentecostal, regular Pentecostal, Episcopal, United Methodist, Baptist, Amy Zion. Let's
Mhm.
see what else I can go to. Like just countless different denominations that just are so different. Been to a Catholic church.
Mhm.
Like everything's so different. Which when I was younger, it confused me, but then as I grew up, I understand everybody interprets the word differently.
Mhm.
And that's part of being a Christian, interpreting what he says to your personal means to connect with him on a personal level. But seeing how you're worshiping the same God, but you do it so differently, and the standards that you hold your flock or how you worship
Okay.
differently was just crazy to me.
Yeah.
Because we all read the same text. Well, for the most part, we all read the same text. But the comprehended in such a vast
Agreed.
difference it's amazing. But yeah, but like I do agree, like the money thing, how certain pastors lead, because I don't know if some pastors don't understand it, but like it can be the smallest thing that somebody does as a pastor that'll turn off members and make them never want to come back.
I don't like when pastors talk about money and they be like, God taking care of me. No, your congregation taking care of you. Like, you ain't got no job.
Mhm.
Yep.
You preach 2 or 3 times a week, and you got the Maserati. Like don't say that's coming from God.
Yeah.
Like give us our due. We paying for these lights to be on in here. We paying. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
I know my
Exactly.
pastor for our church. He says like, hey, it costs money to run the church.
Mhm.
Like when he asking us for money, he say, "Hey, it costs money to run the church." Like, and he
Yep.
put it up there, and he show how much money he need, and he show us exactly what's the money going to. The thing how we know, like, we kind of got an idea that we not paying him like that. He got his own business, his own construction business. He
Right.
got
You
money,
have to
like
have
he got money.
transparency.
So even when we fall short with the money, he put the rest of the money in. Like he made a whole bunch of new chairs, changed the whole stage, like paid almost I think it was like almost $200,000-$300,000 worth of work he put into the church. And he said he was like, "This how much we need to get this done." And he's like, "We're gonna see what we can get out of everybody.
That's
Whatever
awesome.
they fell short, he put the rest." So, but there's other pastors. There's other pastors that like the dude said that video that went viral. He's like, "Close the doors. Close the doors.
Lock the
Close the
doors
doors.
to my Marvin
Crazy.
Sapp.
What you doing?"
Boy, he's really funny
Another one.
because
Seen another
he done held them people hostage.
We're not leaving here until we get 2 million in the basket.
Yeah, which he was kidnapping those people. And it's funny though, because not only is he a recording artist, he's also a pastor and
You
he has all
got at
these other
least
things going on.
500 in
But
that
he rolls
purse
around
now,
in a
like
Rolls
still.
Royce. He always has on the latest designer outfits and stuff. But you're kidnapping people to get $40,000, which is nothing to you.
one of them pastors.
Nothing to
One of
him.
them,
That's pocket change
one
to
of
You
them
got
him.
a
pastors
policy.
told his congregation like, "Yeah, somebody in here today, somebody about to be a millionaire. And
He could have
somebody
bought
gonna make a
whatever.
$10,000 donation, and they're gonna become a millionaire."
Right.
Man, if I got $10,000, like I just need 999,000 left to go. Let me get to the million on my own. I don't want to give it to you and set myself back and be praying, God. God don't work like that.
Exactly.
He don't work.
Right.
God likes a cheerful giver. So if you give money, you got to forget
No.
about that. You can't say, "Well, God, I gave my last 10,000. You ain't gonna give me that million." No, he not. It don't work like that.
Mhm.
But these are the things that people tell their congregation. Like,
Mhm.
Mhm.
And this is exactly. And this is why so many, like you brought up the problem about youth and why all these young people don't aspire to live long.
Yeah.
Can you imagine a young person looking at
none.
the, Drewski video or all of this stuff? They have no guidance. They have
Right.
no future prospect of what there is to live for. There's nobody, there's nothing for them to live for. They have no purpose or no future. There's nothing there for them. So if they're just seeing what we would say like a preacher or somebody, they're coming to this person and they're looking at their lives and they're like, okay, hold on. This person is hustling their own flock
Right.
and they're under the guise of being a preacher, then I'm really lost. If I can't even look to a minister and look at them and seeing that they're not even living right,
Yeah.
then what am I doing here? So this is the core why I feel like Black people as the culture are suffering, because we are God's chosen people. And if we can't even get it together ourselves because we don't see the light that He put within us, then we are lost. We are losing because we can't even see our own value. And this is the part of the problem. And a lot of it is because the devil is just using a lot of confusion and chaos for us to be blinded to the power that lives within us. And so there's all this chaos and confusion and infighting and all these other different forces of darkness that's trying to get us off target and see, just all these different things just being thrown at us on a daily. So we're constantly, fighting against all these different things. And so our future is just constantly in flux. So what do? You attack the future. So most of the next generation is just confused and lost. And so this is the battle and the struggle that, we constantly are up against. And it's horrible because we're defeating ourselves and we already know our self-worth. We know um what we are, but we're constantly fighting against that. And it's sad because the next generation, all of our Gen Zers they're looking for the truth. They have this thirst right now, which is so amazing. I've been seeing a lot of interest right now into looking into like the Ethiopian Bible, especially like
It's
in
in book.
TikTok. A lot of people are trying to get to the truth of, the real Bible and all this stuff. It's really, really a hot topic right now, especially amongst the Gen Z. They're looking for the unfiltered version of the Bible. If you know the differences between the KJV version versus the Ethiopian text. So they want the colored version, for lack of a better word, of the Bible. So I feel like if we can get to the core of that, I feel like there'll be a reawakening, a re-enlightenment of Black culture, and we'll feel empowered again as a people.
I
Exactly.
want all.
Agreed.
Right.
I want all the truth. Put it all out there. Give
Exactly.
me all of it. I want to know the aliens, all that. You got
Oh, I
anything
know
to say about that, Army
myself.
man? You want to tell us something, right?
He said, I can't hear
I
you.
don't
You
know
want to say
What?
something right
nothing. I
quick?
don't know
No?
nothing.
Oh, you can't. Oh, he can't.
Mhm.
He can't.
That's a fact. That's a
Okay.
fact.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. I understand.
I need to
I
confirm
appreciate
or
you. I appreciate you. That's all I needed.
Huh? Huh? Okay. Okay. I would say like compile everything like just based on the conversation how it's been going. Like if you think about a lot of the white generational wealth and Black people being slaves and them trying to have generational wealth for them out of nothing, and it continues to go down the cycle, and it's just like, you know, who is your who is your God, or who do you go to if you don't have a strong religious, upbringing and stuff like that? You just kind of continuously go through that cycle. And then you have stuff in the news that kind of, of course it portrays
Yeah.
us to be a certain way to kind of validate why things went how they went. You got big streamers like the boy Neon. Like I think something happened with him a while ago, and he had like this issue with this Black person. He just got all this hate and I guess negative energy towards all Black people. And I'm not saying that it's validated, but I just think that it's kind of put a certain way to validate how things have been for people. Even with Spanish people, like they're the new slaves. So it's just like
I
you
mean,
keep
That's
bringing people in,
that's why it came about.
and then you keep them at a distance to where they can't really be successful because I think honestly Spanish people was on the come up until
Mhm.
all this stuff started coming about, ice walls and all this other stuff. Like the Spanish was doing their thing.
Because they were getting a
Hmm.
lot of money.
Right.
So when you say that they're the new slaves, let's back that up a little bit.
Hmm.
They willingly work for the wages they work for. But
Yeah.
they'll take that money
Well,
because they send that
Right.
money
yeah,
home.
yeah,
That money works wonders in Mexico. It don't do shit for them here.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I if anybody been to
That's
Mexico,
true.
anybody know about Mexico, man, you take $10,000 to Mexico, you can live like a king
Yeah.
for a couple of years. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So the money they make here, it like when we looking
Hmm.
at on outside looking in, it's like how they surviving? They not. They doing the minimum to make it here. All
Exactly.
that 80% of their check going home.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So
And
so
Free.
But only if black people had that same mentality. Like you quick to kick
Mhm.
somebody out of 18. You got Spanish families, they got 7, 8 people in the house. They all got nice cars. Like they doing what they want to do with what they have. And I think our
I would
mentality
so
as black people is just like, well, when you got a mom and she got a daughter, they bumping heads all the
Not
time, or you
enough.
got a son and you got a
Mhm.
dad, and it's just like you come home and you kind of bring a
But
so
negativity onto your
simple.
family, and I don't know, it's
how many
just
black how many
we
black
are
how
at
many
odds.
black households teach unity?
back in back in the day, back in the
You
day,
don't.
Are
yeah,
they
They
but
currently
the new
don't.
oppressed?
Well,
generation.
In what way?
yeah.
And I would say, so I wouldn't, like he said, I wouldn't call the Hispanics
Yeah, they're not.
the new slaves. The better terminology would be the currently oppressed, because it's a
He's
constant
toasted.
cycle.
I don't
He's
agree.
toasted.
Yeah,
Mm-mm.
exactly. That's a
I
big
agree with
difference
that.
because
I
the
agree with
Granted,
that.
peoples
I
who
agree
were
with that.
brought from
yes,
Africa against
granted,
their
the
own
means and
agree
how
will,
it
with
happened
those are
and who
slaves. If
caused the
you come
oppression, and if they
here
Mm.
aided in their own oppression,
illegally on your own means,
if they
nobody
aided in their own
snatched them over there
oppression,
and put them in chains and brought them here. They chose to come here. So this is the situation you put yourself in. That's that ain't the same. That ain't the same.
No, that's true. Okay, I would say foundationally, as for the people, for us to be too proud to work certain jobs, guess who's gonna take the job? The Spanish. The ones that are continuing to push boundaries forward and make something for themselves, I feel like are not to say that they are the slaves
yeah.
of current, but nobody's working like them. Nobody has a work ethic like the Spanish.
Mhm.
Okay, and so that's why I say I wouldn't phrase them as the new slaves, because I
Mhm.
don't think it's a fair
Mhm.
comparison, like you said, the people that are brought in
That's
change.
fine.
Um, I'm not gonna speak on any illegal
Mhm.
immigrants for obvious reasons.
Mhm.
Um, but I'm more so speaking about the people that are here lawfully, that are, just regular citizens and having to
Mhm.
deal with the current climate that's just here in general. And it's not just strictly like the Hispanics. That's just what's, like you said, what the media feeds us. That's what we're seeing in the media. Um, but it's a general. It's like I said, same cycle. It's the real minority pretending to be the majority to
Agreed.
keep themselves in the facetious state of being the majority. So
I feel you.
oppressing
I feel you.
the actual majority and keeping them as minorities. If you if you get what I'm putting down.
Mm,
Hmm.
Yep.
I agree.
Hmm.
I'll say this. You
Mhm.
know how we talked about stereotypes? You know how we said like there's a negative stereotype against us,
Mhm.
ghetto and all
Yeah.
that? The
I
stereotype that
agree.
Mexicans is the
Mhm.
hardest workers, bro. That's a stereotype.
Mm.
They work
Mhm.
just
Yep.
as hard as anybody else. I've
Mhm.
been around a
I
lot
agree.
of Mexican people, and they just as lazy as anybody else. They just as lazy as anybody else, and they work just as hard as anybody else. I'm not calling my camera right here. I'm not calling Mexican people, Spanish people lazy. Y'all just as lazy as everybody else, and y'all work just as hard as anybody else. And I say that because of the people that I've been around, the people I've seen, and the stuff I've heard. I'm not just saying that. I used to deliver building materials
Hmm.
to houses like after Hurricane Katrina and Hurricane Rita. I worked for this company. I was delivering building materials to houses that were being rebuilt and stuff after the storms. And it was a whole bunch of Mexicans getting hired to rebuild these homes, or you know what I'm saying, like redo moldings and insulation and stuff like that, roofs. Them dudes would be on the job site chilling, drinking their beer, but you see nothing but cases of Bud Light chilling. We would
Mhm.
get there and be like, hey, they told us y'all would help us
Hmm.
get this door off. We got like a, you know what I'm saying, 500-pound door on the truck that somebody put on our truck with a forklift.
Hmm.
Like, hey, bro, they said y'all was gonna help us. They acting like they don't speak no English. Like,
Mm.
you know, just but when the foreman pull up in the truck, everybody get up. Everybody start going, grab a hammer and like, oh, y'all was just chilling. Y'all was just chilling, not doing nothing. But not a white man pull up. Okay, I see what. So I do agree with smart kid in the point where he said they are the currently oppressed. This is a thing right now with these people where they can go to work and not come home to their family. No man of no color should never have to go to work and not come home to his wife and kid. You know what I'm saying? There's a better way to handle this. What they're doing, deporting these people or holding them for however long or sending them to wherever. There's a better way to handle this, and that's what ICE is for. They are currently looking for black and brown people to mess with. And you look at some of the stories, right? I don't know the whole story of ICE, and I don't know exactly what they're doing out there. But what the media is showing and what social network is showing is they
Hmm.
are taking some of these people, beating them up, bringing them 2-3 miles away from where they picked them up at, and dropping them off. And you know what I'm saying? And it's then you have not seen them do that
Oh yeah.
to white people. You have not seen them do that to certain people. You've seen them do that to one demographic of people. So I would say that they are at war with the government right now, and it's not you when they say, "Oh, these people are here illegal." A lot of people are here illegally. A lot, not just Mexicans. What it all boils down to,
Hmm.
what I was told, it all boils
Mhm.
down to it all boils down to these people making money. A lot of them is making money cash, and they sending it home. Western Union, so the government not getting their cut. You know what I'm saying? Money talks. Like all this can be fixed with money. So even when they say, "Oh, you gotta come in this country the right way," how y'all the same way y'all came here 250 years ago, 300 years ago? That's the way, because that it's the same way. These people, Europeans, was oppressed in their own land, and they came here to build a new colony for Europe, and they said, "No, we're gonna keep this. We're gonna stay here. We're
Mhm.
gonna take this. We ain't going back there." You know what I'm saying? So they know about that, and
So
and them being oppressed, they came here and
they
they
turned the
became the
United
oppressors.
States
They
into
like
the
that's
new
the only
church.
way we
They
can't
they
let
want
that
their
happen to
cut
us
before
again.
you
We
leave up
become
out of here.
the power structure. So
which
now
which is
But I'm just saying.
eh, and
Go ahead.
it's no, I'm just saying that it's
I mean
hilarious to
that's
me because, like you
it been
said,
like that.
exact same thing they're doing to us now is what happened to them. Like when they came over here, that's how the Revolutionary War started. The Boston Tea Party. They didn't want to pay them taxes because it was ridiculous. Now look at us now. They giving us the ridiculous taxes. But like, I
Exactly.
digress. I didn't say anything.
Exactly.
Don't come for me.
Mhm.
Yeah. Thugs.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Mhm.
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 Hey,
Okay.
Listen, that Boston
Mhm.
Tea
hey, don't
Party. Don't that
don't
if you know what it
don't say
is? Don't that sound like
don't say
looting?
too
Right.
much. Don't say too much now.
But somebody loot today. Look at those animals. Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right. We just starting this show.
Mhm.
We don't want to get it canceled.
Okay. I want to segue a little bit. My question is, can someone be not black enough? And is there pressure to perform blackness?
uh,
That's a great question.
it depends on the environment you grow
That's a
on.
great
Like me
question.
personally, I don't think there's no such thing as not being black enough. I do think it's a thing. Um, I think it becomes a problem when somebody chooses not to. What's the best word to say this? Can't think of the word, but basically deny that they're black. You know, the same way, you know, there you go.
Embracing it.
Like embrace their black and instead deny it. Like, you know,
Man,
Jay-Z had a line
Yeah.
in his song, you know, where he's like, OJ said, I'm not black, I'm OJ. Okay. I mean, situations like that, like, you know you
Right.
black, but you deny it because it gets you places that you want to be instead of doing it the right way. And that's when it becomes a situation. I wouldn't say it's not black enough. You just deny your blackness. But also, it depends how you are personally handling peer pressure, because you know you're gonna go through the peer pressure like, oh, you're not gonna do that, so you're not black now. You know that's what we do. We've all been in scenarios where we have friends and stuff that'll say stuff like that, and you're just looking at them like, okay, yeah,
the black card. They want
Oh
to
yeah,
snatch
you
your
can't
black
come
black
to
card
the
card.
cookout
revoked.
no more. But that's also like the flip side of that, and this goes back to the gatekeeping. There's too many people in the black culture that are quick to invite people that are not actually skin tone wise or racially background wise black, and be like, yeah, just because they can do something that we do really great or make it look good, but yeah, they're invited to the cookout. Come on, they're invited to the cookout. Like
Exactly.
that's the reverse of gatekeeping. I don't even know what the reverse of gatekeeping will be. Opening the gates, letting them in, just walk through the doorway.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like,
Can you repeat the question again? So before I
Can
answer.
someone be not black enough, and is there pressure to perform blackness?
Okay. So um I won't say someone can't be black enough, because what we touched on earlier, people are from different regions and from different places. So black is different in New York. Black is different in Atlanta. Black is different in Fayetteville. Black is different in Los
260,
Angeles. It's all black, and it's all related. But it's
260.
say it again. but it's different. You know what I'm saying? You know, people. You know, I'm from Louisiana. You know why I say that? People say, "Man, y'all really eat raccoons down there?" That's what I get asked sometimes. I'm like, man, listen, I'm from Louisiana, but I ain't from that part. I don't know. I can't answer that. Like, you know what I'm saying? I know they put gators on the pit. They put a lot of meat on the pit, but I don't know about that. Y'all eat possums and this? I don't know, bro. I'm not that far in the trenches in that struggle. But I will say this, as far as, because if someone not black enough, I don't believe that. If you're black, you're black. You know what I'm saying? If you daddy black and your mama white and you say I'm black, then you black. Like, I don't believe it to be like that. What I will say, so I will say this. I don't believe that you can be black enough. I don't believe people can be cultured enough. I think some people are missing from the culture, right? So there can be someone that can be black, like Tommy Davidson, black but raised by a white family. His brothers was white, his sister was white, his mom, his dad, like he was adopted, and like I don't know if y'all seen the clip where he kept hearing the N word, and he went and he was like hearing people talk about N word and N words, and he went home. He said, "Mama, we gotta stay away from these N words." he said he said he was like, who is these N words? We gotta stay away from them. He didn't realize that he was that. You know what I'm saying? He didn't realize that not willingly, but culturally and the vision of the world, he was exactly that, right? So I think people cannot be cultured enough, but I mean, if you black, you black. Like there's like what Mario said, there's people that fight it and don't claim it. Those are the worst. I cannot deal. Yeah, I cannot, man. I
Dominican.
can't.
A Dominican pop.
I don't like
I'm
that,
not
but
black.
I think someone cannot be
I know
cultured
black.
enough. But
Yeah, I know black. I
Is
Dominican.
black enough? Like, bro,
Mhm.
black is black. Black. I don't think you have to be hood, ghetto, or like what else they say about us? We sexually aggressive, ratchet, just like I don't believe that. It, loud, angry, dumb.
Ratchet,
Yeah, I everything you put
Mhm.
a label on
Loud,
black, every
angry.
label, that's you
aggressive.
can say that about anybody.
They love that word.
Mhm.
If you put them in
Mhm.
the right position, that can come
Yeah,
out of
they love
anybody.
that.
So yeah, I don't believe in that. I think if you black, you black. I don't that but that is a real thing
Mhm.
though. That is a real thing. People telling other people, hey man, you ain't black enough. Or I know everybody done heard someone say something about, oh man, you sound white.
Mhm.
Like
Mhm.
you read a couple of books.
Yes.
You got a couple
Yeah, I was gonna talk about
Just
that.
that's
because you
white.
Mhm.
speak
Like,
proper, you enunciate and you pronounce your words,
okay.
you talk white.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's how they be. That's how they
Uh-huh.
be. You think you better than us?
Yeah, you got a little
You think you're doing
education.
something now,
Yeah,
huh?
you're not black enough. Mhm. Right. Who you think you are? Mhm.
And I will say, as far as the
Yeah.
pressures go, most of the pressure comes from the black community to be black and prove you black. And then you have those scenarios where you get
Mhm.
around other demographics and you have to be the cool black friend. Like, go ahead and do that thing you do. You know what I'm talking about, the thing y'all do. Come on,
Uh-huh.
it's so cool. Do it for us.
Oh
You know,
yeah.
Mhm.
Hello.
like I be
He
saying in the
told that to
game.
the
What
dude.
Frieza say? We're not gonna say it, but what
Hello.
Frieza
I ain't gonna
say?
say the word, but yeah.
Dance for me.
I'm taking it from a different perspective
Mhm.
because I think that
Yeah.
situation comes up a lot for people who are biracial. So if you take the twins, like Tia and Tamara, for example, I feel like anytime they're dressed, it's like, are you talking to the white twin or the black twin? Is it the white twin or the black twin? And I often go like, that's really
That's what I was
difficult
gonna say.
for people to,
Mhm.
pit them against each other in that manner because I know exactly what they mean by that as a
Mhm.
person who is black. But that's horrible to put them against each other and saying that. But I get where that's stemming from. But it's a horrible thing for them to put them against each other in that manner. But I've often heard a lot of biracial people complain to me, friends and things that they feel this pull from either community of whether or not when they're with their black family, it's like, I'm not black enough, like I'm not able to blend in that environment. Or when they're with their white family, I'm not white enough, so I can't blend in that environment. So they're always dealing with this, inner turmoil of I just don't fit in. And so I think, yeah, in a way, they do feel that struggle with no matter how dark they might be on appearance or if their hair presents as more black, air quotes, they still never
Great.
authentically
Yeah.
feel black enough. So in reality for them, they do live that, they never feel black enough. So in one perspective, I do feel like there is some validity for that for people who aren't 100% what they would consider black because they do experience that.
I agree with that. I agree with that. She hit the
Hmm.
nail on the head. That's who it pertains to.
Uh, yeah. 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 Okay, I agree with that. But I will say on the flip side, because I do view that like so you do have the people that struggle. That's the
Mhm.
curse. Um, but for
Right.
that segment
Hmm.
of people, there's also that gift of the
Mm.
people that can play both sides and do play both sides. Um, we're not gonna talk about Stacey Dash. Um, I I'm gonna throw Logic in there because he's one of those like he
Hmm.
he presents white, but he definitely claims the black in the black space when it's to his
Mhm.
advantage. Um,
Hmm.
and those are the
Right.
people that make the other side of the coin struggle
A lot of them do.
in that same
Right
segment.
quick, I just want to ask
Um,
y'all, everybody, please. I know that ain't the subject, but how y'all feel about everybody that's not black saying the N word? I don't even say it like that. I don't say it.
Okay.
I stopped
Oh,
saying it a long time ago and trust me, I'm from the South. That was ingrained in me. But when I stopped
Oh
saying
no
it
no no no.
when I heard my son say it. It cringed me so bad. I was like, nah, we gonna stop this right here. Like I'm not saying it, you not saying it, and that's just that was it for me. But
Mm,
how do y'all feel about like people like Fat Joe, like that's another dude I think his name
mhm.
China Mac. He said he
Oh,
could
nah.
say it because he been to prison
Mm-mm.
and around a lot of black people, stuff like that. How do y'all feel about that? White folks.
yeah.
White folks, how do
Um,
y'all feel about it? Like it's
uh,
people that I grew up with that was in the hood with us.
it's
You know what I'm saying? How do y'all feel about that?
Yeah. I don't like that.
I view it the same way. Like you wouldn't go to Chicago and say we not from 63rd,
Right?
just around the city, like that, right? You're not gonna be any other demographic besides black and say nigga. That's
You
the same
good?
way.
You
Oh,
good?
my bad. I'm sorry, but you're not gonna say the N word. Like you're just not gonna do that because it's the
You
same
you
way.
alright. You
Like
alright.
I view it in that same lens. Certain things you can't say certain demographics. Like it's certain things that white people, Hispanics, Asians, Jews,
Mm,
anything, any other nationality, race, or anything that they can say that I wouldn't say. Um, but also some people just don't have that general respect not to
mhm.
say it. Um, I know in my presence, like I'll address it, but if you choose to keep saying it and you're in the wrong scenario, like I'll come to you and tell you on the side, be like, hey, you should be saying that. You should probably stop. If you choose to keep saying it, especially we're in a space where I'm trying to warn you and you probably gonna run into some troubles, you know, that's you lighting that match beside the gasoline.
Try to tell him.
If you catch on fire, that's between you and the fire. Cause I'm gonna sit back and put my karma.
Mm. Personally, I
Yeah,
prefer for people
same.
to not say racial slurs, especially in the presence of whatever culture that it affects, especially with the roots of that word. I don't think nobody should be saying it personally. That's how I feel. Especially the colonizers. They shouldn't be saying it. And I'm gonna be real with you.
Well, you know how they came up with it, right?
You wanna know?
Because they heard when they went to Africa, they heard everybody calling each other that. They heard them, but in Ethiopia, it's a term of respect. Is king. It means king or wealthy man.
Mm,
But it's not the hard R. Whatever.
mm-hmm.
It's called. It said
Mm.
negus.
Yes, I've heard of
Negus.
that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So they heard them saying that, but by the time they got their country ass back here
Mm-hmm.
with the people they stole, they was calling them that, like, you know what I'm saying, and it became the
Mm-hmm.
way they
Yeah,
said it,
because
and you know what I'm saying.
for them it always was a means of demeaning and being derogatory. It never was meant as something positive. So people think, oh, I'm empowering us by flipping and reversing it. No, I don't think you should do that because there's no other racial slur that people are taking and flipping and reversing and they think it's okay because you would get canceled quick
Right,
if you
just off
say certain
limits.
terms to certain groups of people. Like if you say
I
something to
always
the gay
wondered that.
community, if you
Yeah,
say something
loose.
to the
Yeah.
Jewish community, if you say something to the Chinese community, certain words, will get you
Mm-hmm.
canceled, banned, blacklisted right away. But they like to flirt that line when it comes to black people. And why? Why is
I
it okay?
always wondered that. I always wondered that. Why y'all don't use y'all own racial slurs to
No,
each
you
other?
Because, like, why would
What
you say a slur to somebody?
this
That's
is
just a
a
means of
bigger
hurting somebody. Like,
conversation.
I don't understand.
what's up, my cracker?
Why
Why
would you
y'all don't
say
do that?
that?
Why you gotta go? Why you gotta do ours? Like, you know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? We turned ours cool. Why don't you turn yours cool?
Because
Like, why
it's
don't you
To
like?
the
ridiculous.
root of exactly what I was saying at the start of this. We are so lackadaisical about our stuff. Like we will just let people just run with whatever, and we don't hold our stuff accountable. Like they will just take anything and just
Mm-hmm.
run over us. You think the Jewish community would be okay with something like
Well,
that?
that crazy.
No, they would be like, "Yeah, this is not okay. Somebody gonna
Oh,
pay."
they
Were
won't. They
smart
won't let
about
you
it. They
make it.
became lawyers
They will not
first.
let you make
Every
it.
good lawyer you know
They
is
would
They
shut
won't
Jewish.
that
let you make
down
it.
right away,
Exactly.
expeditiously, in the
They
words
will
of
not let you
Ti.
make it.
They
Expeditiously.
learned the law.
There you go. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Penal, penal code 18
Mhm.
0
Mm-hmm.
But we always want to
21
There
turn
you
up the
go.
says,
cheek. Yeah, okay.
Hmm.
Not enough lawsuits, I think.
Mhm.
Because if people started suing people and stuff,
but you,
oh, this is defamation of character. Oh,
you
pain,
but you know what that
mental
is though,
anguish, it's
because
the
you can
stress.
sue
I can't
people,
take it. I
but it
don't
don't
feel
do
right no
nothing
more.
unless you win
Start
that
suing
case, and
people.
you know who run
People
the
gonna
system.
stop.
Hey, hey,
There you go.
hey, you
True.
just gotta be petty enough to be
I
petty
mean,
enough,
sometimes you have to
Sometimes
and
the
then
outsmart
put
money
the
us
just
cat.
don't
down.
go long enough. If you on trial for what, 5, 6 months, you ain't got no money like that.
True.
You can't hang.
Right.
True.
I heard a joke one time
Hmm.
where somebody said, "There's a stereotype that black people lazy." I don't know about that, but I know white people travel thousands of miles across sea to go get black people to come here and do
Thank
some work.
you. Thank you.
I'm gonna leave it at that. When you talking about these racial slurs and you want to say
Hmm.
that's a lazy person,
Exactly.
like who really
The
is
only
that?
reason they say that is because we
Who
won't
really
work for
is
free
that?
for them
It could
no
be
more.
anybody.
We
I think the
won't
N
do what
word
they
is
want
How
us
about
to
that?
religious.
do.
Hey,
That's the only reason that they
Listen,
say that.
what
Please.
color?
Mm.
What color were the
listen.
overseers? And more times than not, who's the
But that's
laziest
why
person in the
I
business?
just
Mhm.
wanted
The
to make sure we was
supervisor or
all
the
on the same
manager?
page
Mm-hmm.
with that because I don't.
Unless they black,
Exactly.
because I was a manager before,
Exactly.
so gotta
Like, be
preface
for
that.
real.
I just wanted to make sure.
Okay.